That's me. You might be wondering how I ended up in this situation.
What's up, guys? Boy, Benny. Sometimes it's just a major pleasure to do this show, mainly because we get to witness moments like this, and this is happening actually more regularly than we thought in 2024. That expression, that right there, that, ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing that a lot. Yeah, that is the perfect expression of libs as they read this news breaking seconds ago out of the Supreme Court. Supreme Court has denied Joe Biden's administration request to block Texas border bill that allows cops and border agents to arrest anyone who crossed the border illegally and deport them or jail them for the rest of their lives. Oh, hot damn. Look at my jam. The Supreme Court has decided to block a Texas law that would allow state officials to arrest people suspected of crossing the U.S.-Mexico border illegally, in a blow to the Biden administration. The administration had asked the justices to freeze a judicial order allowing the Republican-backed Texas law to take effect, while the Justice Department's challenge to the statute proceeds in the lower court. The Supreme Court decision means Texas cops will now be allowed to arrest people suspected of entering the country illegally, giving local officers power long delegated to the federal government. The administration has argued that the law violates the Constitution and under law by inferring that the federal government's power to regulate immigration. Oh, yeah, baby. Republican Texas Governor Greg Abbott signed the bill in December, said the law was needed due to Biden's failure to enforce the laws criminalizing illegal aliens on the border. Look at the border. Look at this war zone right now. This is a massive win. It is a massive crisis, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, for Democrats and their attempts to rig elections. It's very simple, like line by line. I'll go through it here. Open up the border for anyone to come in here. Pledge those people government goodies and handouts. That's why you see criminal aliens being treated better than American citizens, and then have no ballot measures that verify if you're an American citizen or if you are a legal voter. It is illegal for criminal aliens to vote in our elections, obviously. And then give those people ballots and let them vote. And then there's literally no mechanisms. There's no voter ID. There's no signature verification. There's no mechanisms to ensure that that vote is legal. And then what do? You wind up with some 30 million new voters for Democrats. Poof. There you go. Permanent control forever. So Texas being able to deport those people, and we haven't even gotten into the census because they count the census. They don't count whether you are an American citizen in the census. That's the first question that should be asked. They simply just count heads. And so the number of all those criminal aliens in the country mean Democrats get apportioned more seats in Democrat districts. It is like the end around way to rig the country forever to be a Democrat superstate, and Texas is putting a stop to it. Finally, the Supreme Court will allow Texas to arrest and detain and to imprison those entering the state illegally. Greg Abbott saying in a 6-3 decision, SCOTUS allows Texas to begin enforcing SB 4 that allows for the arrest of illegal immigrants. We still have to have a hearing in the Fifth Circuit, but this is clearly a positive development. Huge win. Texas has defeated the Biden administration. ACLU's emergency motion. Supreme Court, our immigration law is now in effect. As always, it's my honor to defend Texas' sovereignty, says Ken Paxton, Attorney General. In a Supreme Court just did a 180 and ruled that Texas is allowed to enforce SB 4, allowing the state police to arrest and deport illegal aliens. 7 of the 9 justices sided with Texas over the Biden administration. Sotomayor and Jackson dissented, saying it will sow chaos. Oh, really? Really? Deporting illegal aliens will sow chaos. Man, these people. Yeah, I mean, their brains are melted. They're just evil. There's no other way to describe them. Huge win. Supreme Court will allow Texas to deport illegal aliens. The big blow. It's amazing how we're celebrating things that just seemed like natural and normal to us just a few years ago. But Democrats decided that illegal aliens was the way they were going to get permanent control of this country forever. They were just going to rig the systems. They're going to screw over the rest of us. Again, the old Roman proverb, an evil ruler would rather rule over a nation of ashes. They'll burn the nation to the ashes than not rule at all. Joe Biden explaining it, by the way. This was back when Joe Biden was vice president. This is in the year 2014.
An unrelenting stream of immigration. Non-stop. Non-stop. Folks like me who were Caucasian of European descent, for the first time in 2017, will be in an absolute minority in the United States of America. Absolute minority. Fewer than 50% of the people in America from then and on will be white European stock. That's not a bad thing. That's a source of our strength.
That's not a bad thing. That's the source of our strength. Joe Biden with that little goblin, that Gollum-looking cretin, Mayorkas, grinning beside him. You can tell, like, Mayorkas is, like, looking at his talking points here. Joe Biden following his talking points, the plan that they always had set up. An unrelenting stream of immigration. Where the hell is this even coming from? Because, like, it's like clearly not legal. It's antithetical to American law.
Fox. An unrelenting stream of immigration.
An unrelenting stream of immigration, and it will then destroy the nation. And Joe Biden's sitting there saying, it's a good thing. That's a good thing. Got it? Yeah. These people have been planning this for a very, very long time. Lauren Boebert saying the Supreme Court ruled correctly, giving Texas the authority to detain and jail illegals. Enough of the lawlessness that has plagued our nation. Biden refuses to secure the border. Red states will step up and do it without him. It is the red states who are suffering. Laken Riley was, of course, murdered by a criminal alien. Should have never been here. Joe Biden was asked about that during the State of the Union, and
it's not about me. I'd be a winner. Not really. Lincoln Riley, an innocent young woman who was killed by an illegal. That's right. But how many of the thousands of people being killed by illegals? To her parents,
how many thousands of people are being killed by illegals? Joe Biden says when he says her name wrong. And then says that illegals are killing thousands of people. Then Joe Biden was scolded by Nancy Pelosi about this.
Now, you should have said undocumented, but it's not a big thing, okay? What's the big thing about that?
No, I actually wasn't even going to ask about that. I was just going to ask more about the moment. But you do think that he should have said undocumented? That wasn't going to be my question.
Well, we usually say undocumented. He said.
Oh, okay. So we should apologize to the illegal? Did Joe Biden apologize?
Do you regret using the word illegal to describe immigrants last night, sir?
Well, I don't regret it. Was technically not supposed to be here.
Okay. And then eventually they got him, though. Eventually they got him. They got Joe Biden to apologize to the rabid murder.
To her heckling of you, you used the word illegal when talking about the man who allegedly killed Laken Riley.
An undocumented person. And I shouldn't have used illegal. It's undocumented. And look, when I spoke about the difference between Trump and me, one of the things I talked about on the border was that the way he talks about vermin, the way he talks about these people polluting the blood. I talked about what I'm not going to do, what I won't do. I'm not going to treat any of these people with disrespect. Look, they built the country. The reason our economy is growing. We have to control the border and more orderly flow, but I don't share his view at all.
I don't share his view at all, that this was an illegal alien. The murderer built the country. Contrast that with the way that Donald Trump talks about immigration.
Say he was an illegal alien, he was an illegal immigrant, he was an illegal migrant, and he shouldn't have been in our country, and he never would have been under the Trump policy.
Yeah, I think that you're going to have a problem here. I think there's quite the distinction. Isn't it amazing that I have to, like, sit here and cheer on the fact that we can deport illegal criminal migrants, illegal criminal aliens? Like, wasn't that just normal? Like a minute ago? Wasn't that, like, normal? Wasn't that, like, you cross into this country illegally? We've all read the 1964 Immigration Act. You can't cross into the country illegally. That's a felony. Staying in the country is another felony. Every second you stay in the country is a compounding felony because you're committing a criminal act. Like, isn't that just the law of the land? Joe Biden just deciding to not enforce the law of the land, and there's going to be major consequences of this. Elon Musk, obviously, arguably the most powerful man in the world, the richest man in the world. He owns the most sophisticated companies in the world with the best technology in the world, and he owns the biggest free speech platform in the world. He pinned this video to the top of his account. He's followed by 177 million people. He pinned this video to the top of his account from this morning, explaining how Democrats are going to rig elections forever using criminal aliens. They've been waiting for this moment. This is why they lost their minds on Donald Trump and his immigration policies. This is why they're losing their minds over this Texas decision. Ladies and gentlemen, this video is chilling. Have a watch.
The Democrat open borders plan to entrench single-party rule, explained in under 2 minutes. 1. Flood the country with untold millions of illegals by land, sea, and air from all over the world, enough to eclipse the populations of 36 individual U.S. states so far. 2. Prioritize the needs of these millions of non-citizens over the needs of the American citizen, with free flights, buses, hotels, meals, and phones, ensuring their loyalty to the political party that imported them. 3. Keep them in the country at all costs, even when they commit violent crime like murder and rape. Attack the language used to describe the criminals, as opposed to the criminals themselves. Slander critics as racist. 4. Ensure their privileges are made irrevocable with city and state sanctuary laws that act as population magnets. Codify permanent status and ensure non-cooperation with ICE. 5. Count the non-citizens in the census that will determine congressional apportionment in the House of Representatives. As of now, that would equal 13 extra congressional districts, a tremendous amount of electoral power. 6. Wage a massive, heavily funded lawfare campaign to change state voting laws that legalize mass mail-in ballots, no signature verification, and no proof of citizenship requirements, making it nearly impossible to prove voter fraud. 7. Lock in the permanent voting majority with campaign promises of lavish benefits and permanent privileges, enshrining generational fealty to the Democrat Party. 8. Win elections. 9. Entrenched single-party rule has been achieved. The best part? Your tax dollars are paying for it.
I think the tide is turning. Maybe not turning fast enough, but the tide is turning. And in 2024, we must win. And then when we win, we have to have immigration policies that reverse what Joe Biden has done and then make it so that nobody can ever do this again. We must actually bear the weight of weak Republicans from years and generations gone by who have ignored this problem, weak, feeble Republicans, and we must actually protect the country. We have to do the work. Period. There's not a single person I know that's against immigration because everyone in this country is an immigrant. Everyone I know is against illegal, criminal, alien immigration of criminals. That is a recipe for disaster. And go check with Lake and Riley family if you wish to know the result of these policies. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's save this place together. See ya.